Hi guys, hopefully everything is okay. We are live. I'll play some music and I'll start shortly. It is CATURDAY and I love you. So let's start with some music. Let's see who is here. I'm getting ready. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well and that you're like ready and eager to get the flavor of the week. This week is going to be super duper fast because I have to head down to Niagara. My dad is not picking up the phone for 5 days. The neighbor is not responding, so I don't have an option, and so I'm a little bit freaked out, and I don't think there is that much traffic out there, but I want to go there as soon as possible. And what is the sign that people are not getting enough speed? They should be. Let me refresh it on my end and see what's happening here, and hopefully improves. Hello Luca, hello Saint-Gerard. Let me see what else. So what is this? Arcane, I believe, tarot that I'm using today. If interested, Barb is here, of course. CBO Music, didn't see you in a while. Good morning. Don't you enjoy the weather today, CBO? It's such a beautiful day in Toronto. Hello, Knitting Yogi, looking forward to hearing from you. And there is California here. So, it's not going to be elaborate today. It's going to be really kind of like quick and dirty. And I know what it means. Like, even when I say quick and dirty, it still goes on. But I'm trying to get it done by noon. So it is 6/6 over here. And so let me see. We're starting with Gemini. Gemini, it is your birthday. So happy belated and happy birthday for those of you whose birthday is coming up this week. Are they all upright? They are. So which means they need to be shuffled. They need to be shuffled and reversed, because without reversals life would not be fun. And let me just make sure that they are not coming in bundle. So Geminis, oh, look at Florida. We have like that's much warmer than here. So we have Ace of Cups. Wow, what a lovely gift for a birthday. So these three wanted to go out. You know what? It sounds to me you have Ace of Cups, you have Two of Wands, and you have a Seven of Cups reversed. So this is really telling me, guys, that first of all, there is like a huge potential of something starting. You're a little bit apprehensive because I like to know better where this is heading, or the direction where this is going. I mean, interestingly enough, like you have these birds. Almost sounds to me that you might meet somebody by looking up. So they might be just simple, it might be simple as them being taller than you, but might be coming from some kind of like higher thing, or it might be even in the airplane, or you might both like birds, might both like animals. Interestingly enough here as well, Seven of Cups, which is generally talking about idealistic attitudes and dreaming, and sometimes wasting your time in being sidetracked, kind of daydreaming kind of a thing. In this particular situation here, this is really talking about you're no longer like that. You're kind of like being a pragmatist at this stage. You really know, just looking things down, you really know what needs to be done, and kind of like really striving in that direction. So let's see. Hello Chris, how are you? Good morning everyone. Let me see what we see over here. And my apology, I'm not going to finish my monthlies today because driving really makes me feel tired. So there's a release. You guys are traveling. This is going to be something you're going to set your mind on, almost like you're going to meet somebody without necessarily either enthusiasm in this or planning. Ace of Cups is also signifying new beginnings. New beginnings in some kind of direction where you're planning something to do. So maybe there's like something in inception phase where you really wanted something to really work out, but at this stage you are not overly lost. You know, like sometimes people date and they have this really high ideas and ideals about how relationships should go, and nothing really measures up, and so hence it always feels like you're going down the drain. No, this is like nice and pragmatic and realistic and understanding. So this is really, really good. So hey, my dear Geminis, enjoy. I would like to know from you what's going on. So let's see randomly over here. I'll go Libra next. Any Libras in the house? Say yay. Libra, 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 Libra. So we have Five of Swords, we have Strength, and we have Judgment. So now this is really interesting. So your also monthly reading was very interesting. At the point to think of your sign is starting to be visible that there's like something that needs to be done to overcome in order to get somewhere else, and this is continuing in this like weekly as well. So there is like this Five of Swords, and this Five of Swords is like generally about victory, and it's victory at no cost kind of a thing, and generally it signifies victory about somebody much weaker and not understanding that this victory was never supposed to happen. And here it is understanding, or maybe somebody did something to you, or you did something. Like this victory happens and the person is completely clueless. That's why I kept telling you in your monthlies, you really need to kind of like really figure out what this is, because something has happened, something where maybe force has been used, because Strength upright is about technically about gentleness and about knowing that you can do something, that you can severely hurt somebody if needed to, but you're choosing not to do that. You're choosing diplomacy, you're choosing kind of like iron fist in the velvet glove kind of approach, right? But when Strength reverses, especially if it comes in combination with this, it could be something fierce, it could be something But for some reason, I keep thinking this is something that is stemming from the past, because this month is going to be freaking weird, right? And then there's a clue over here that we have Judgment. So I don't know, guys, if you're dealing with any Scorpios, because Scorpios and Leos are coming through as well. So this simply could mean that they're making appearance and saying just keep going of some sort. If not, then these cards are really talking about there is something that needs to be resolved. Maybe you're having some kind of anger. Maybe you have people, and that will be at least two other people that you're really thinking about, who you really don't have pleasant thoughts. Let me put it mildly this way. So Judgment is saying, this is your test, guys. You need to resolve this, and you need to resolve this without quote unquote winning. It has to be win-win for everybody, not just for you. So that's what this card shows, and it steps in, and like you're being watched. You're literally being watched. So, well, whatever this means for you, if you don't think that anything is there to resolve, which we always do, stuff like that, then like really nothing to worry. But this is kind of like the kind of like whole story about brownie points and like what we really need to do. So we have expectancy here, but it's not necessarily about pregnancy. It is like she's seen here opening a gift over here. So that's what it is. Sometimes in order to get there, it's almost like sitting there is like a reward, but it's saying you have to do A, B, C, D in order to get it. So are you going to do it? And it's going to be a week that is going to really ask of you more or less behaviorally to deal with that, and that's going to be very, very important. So Libra, kind of like you are on a notice over here. So you got two of these reversals that I shuffled initially. Let me have my coffee, a sip of coffee, guys, and hopefully you have your own CATURDAY coffee there in front of you. So who do I do next? Which signs I didn't do for monthlies yet? So Pisces. Let's go with you, Pisces, right now. And Pisces, and see what I have here. So I can do a little bit longer. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Huh. Temperance and Four of Cups. It's interesting because it's adding to 18, and this is you. So that's why I'm hesitant if I should shuffle further more, but I will. So you're getting out of funk, whatever it is. Something is starting to work. Something is starting to be very prominent. You may have feel that, like some of you have been very hopeful, but some of you like were really resigned to kind of like how things will evolve. It looks like with either a situation or with someone. Temperance is like really lovely card, and in this particular deck, look at like her third eye is like extremely active, and there's like this magic dust. So the Eight of Wands is also extremely positive card. These arrows are also called arrows of love, right? And these arrows of love is basically talking about either messages from someone, or somebody might express their feelings for you. You might express yours. There is going to be some kind of energy. It's going to be really good communication. It's also very much hopeful, very much let's go together, let's do it, kind of like stuff, energy. So it's kind of like pretty cool. So altogether, I'm feeling that you're feeling in a zone. You're feeling that you're going and experiencing certain kind of levels of, I would like to say power, but that's not really describing exactly what I feel. What temperance generally is really suggesting is that you're finding solutions to something that was not solvable. And like, I mean, of course, who else would find that solution but Pisces, right? And there is like maybe that you had people around you against that solution, and that it was really hard for you to kind of like move that mountain. Now, like all of a sudden, something really appears to you, like it's solution A, solution B, and there is like, and look, it's 11:11. So clearly, you are going to have just like that. Something is going to come through. You're going to watch something on television, and it's going to click. Yes, it's doable. It's workable. So this is kind of like getting you out of some kind of stagnation, but also knowing that you're pushing that solution can also kind of like give you a little bit of a pause. But it's going to be very temporarily. Maybe you're going to have Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, sort of like, kind of like that you're in a kind of like little funk. Maybe it's going to rain or something, but then things are going to get through very much. So this also sounds like that maybe you are initiating response from someone, and then somebody doesn't reply, and you're thinking, okay, it's not working out. It makes you sad, but then they do, and everything kind of like is the happy ending, proverbial fairy tale happy ending. So have faith. Lovely. Look at this. Just stay to sleep. Have faith. Things are going to really, really work out. Wow. I really like when I have like these positive kind of readings, because whenever I have negative, I want to tell you what I see, but I also don't want to be hurtful. And I know when I did Gemini monthly, I got quite a few messages that I didn't address yet. Were you saying somebody's going to die? It was like, oh my God, the Gemini reading this month was having one message after another. That was like scary. And then I felt, okay, I have to say it, but just keep in mind, guys, when I say things like that, and I believe I said it in the reading, this is not my first go-to, hey, you're going to drop dead or something, or somebody around you will drop dead. But if, like, you get 10 of swords, if you get death card, if you get, like, this, like, I mean, regular offenders around, well, it is a possibility. It is, like, something that you really need to deal with, you know, and it's not... Yeah, that is horrible. Talking about death, my brother had to put his dog to sleep, so that was really that's really hard. So, as you probably know, especially those of you who have pets, this is completely different type of love, and crap happens, right? So who else I didn't do? I didn't do Aries. Aries, you're going to go next. So let's see. Aries, happy CATURDAY. Hey Carol, Oklahoma. Aries, you already got strength card. What is like with the strength is coming through? Ooh, you have strength, you have justice, and you have King of Cups. So guys, if this is not marriage, I don't know what the hell would be marriage. Commitment in front of the legal person. And it is like, I mean, bringing you love, and it is about love. Like, I mean, this is almost like what I would pull out of the deck to show as an example. This is absolutely lovely. This also can be commitment of some kind of contract or some kind of job and something that you would love, right? It's very, very straightforward. This is also a karma card over here, which means something is meant to be. Now, like, you're coming on top. Now there is some kind of like balance happening. You're understanding that this is not let's say finality, right? You're understanding that there is like a new journey ahead of you, but it's maybe journey with somebody else, with somebody very strong, somebody who could be very different from you, but nonetheless almost like feeling like a feel kind of like much stronger, hence the strength card. And King of Cups is like that person. Like, to me, this is the ultimate catch, right? All of the other ones have their own things. Like, one is very eloquent, one is very rich, one is like so much fun to be around. But this is the one that is the long term. This is the one that, you know, you want to have around. Male, female, this is a general reading, so kind of like don't look down into that. Plus, when I add your cards, 11 and 8 is 19, so it gets to the Sun card, which is also about wedding, it's also about marriage, it's also about children as well. So maybe, you know, there is some kind of like blended family over here, or maybe you're getting pregnant, or maybe somebody has a kid, especially Sun is highlighted in the Sun card, right? Literally. But if you're single and all of that is just gibberish to you, then I would really roll up your sleeves and start looking, because this week you'll be planting the seeds to the universe. So whether or not this week you meet someone, but this week you're going to do something. It's either going to be direction, they're going to have a thought, this is what they need, and you're sending this to the universe. You might create your new profile, you might put a new picture, you might having a different approach to the conversation. It's going to be less of a list, because with King of Cups, it's not a list. The list would be King of Pentacles. Oh, well, kind of like this, right? Deal breakers are deal breakers. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this nonsense, right? Like, I mean, she has to be this and he has to be that. I am really talking about this is good for my soul. And I really feel at home with this person. Yeah, she or he might not be really the richest, the most beautiful and everything, but this feels right. This is like almost like you're feeling the comfort of a hug over here. So, oh my gosh, like, I mean, lovely. So I'm looking forward to your monthlies as well, an awakening. And it's kind of like tomorrow is a new day came to me when I pick up this card. But for you, this tomorrow is a proverbial tomorrow. It's going to be like tomorrow as the new chapter in your life, something as a new direction, something feeling peaceful, something feeling right, something feeling is letting you feel emotionally content. It's letting you feel the justice have been served of some sort. The situation could involve marriage, the situation could involve love, and the situation also could involve that we really need to open up toward new possibilities. So make sure that you are doing that, guys. Very, very important. Okay? All right. So, and who else I didn't do? Did I do Taurus? I don't think I did Taurus, right? No, I didn't do Taurus. So let's do Taurus next. Okay, Taurus, you are next. Taurus. So let's see, Taurus, what's happening this week? And you have Four of Cups reversed. You have Ace of Pentacles reversed, and you have the Magician reversed. So it's going to be a mess up week. Let's not beat around the bush. It's going to be a week, like, you know, Mercury retrograde comes on the 18th. But some people are they more in tune with that, or some messages have to happen before or after, because in order for Mercury to be full retrograde, it's kind of like looping around before. So it goes loops, and then it goes retrograde, right? So this will be forward motion. Then it starts to kind of go around into this loop when it is retrograde, and then it kind of like starts moving forward again. So like this kind of like the edges are when they're like points of tension, let's put it this way. Did you ever try to run around like and just like running one path back and forth, but like when you get to the point where you have to turn around, there is like a confusion, you're dazzled and everything else. So that's the 3 weeks before Mercury retrograde and 3 weeks after Mercury retrograde. So for some of us, we're already feeling it. I already did. My car just came from mechanic yesterday, so kind of like had to fix my transmission, or not entire transmission, but some parts of it. So for you, it's going to be similar. Not that you have to fix your transmission, but there's like something that you're abandoning. You are literally seeing certain things that are not working, because the Ace of Pentacles would be your card, would be about the long term, would be about doing anything. Magician reversed is still card that brings results. This also could mean that you're like really worried about your investments, that you are like snapping up and saying, you know what, like something is going on. You are revisiting anything that you have, whether this is your portfolio or this is your budget or this is like what you have in the bank. You're looking into what you can do with that. Be very careful of some kind of like reckless investments, because the Magician is the person who's going to go, psst, you want to give me some money? And you know, like you're going to get this like huge benefits, and or you bump into the friend from the quote-unquote high school who is promising you, you know, some huge return of the company he's starting, and you're remembering everything that this person was successful and you knew each other at high school, kind of like I don't know, reunion or university, but then you realize this person is the fraudster later. That's kind of like the stuff is really needs to be addressed, because it's telling me it's a high likelihood that you can get involved with something that's not going to be good for you. So be very, very careful about that. Hello, Anita. Oh, let's see what you guys get. Birth. Man, this is not a good card to get with this combination. Otherwise, it would be a good card. You see, that's the trickiness of tarot. I just think that you might go in a really wrong direction. It might be really something new, something that's going to excite you, because this is like talking about something new. You have two ones, right? And it is a six. Is something going to feel really good about that? The problem with that, it is Mercury retrograde coming up, and some of us are feeling it already, and it is Venus retrograde. So something looks really, really good even on the paper, but it's really not good. If you guys can, any way you can, wait until 25th, even better until 27th. Just don't do anything this month. Just do your due diligence, do your study, ask other people about it, read a lot about it. Because I feel, especially when it comes to finances, and it's going to be something connecting to finances or something long term, it's not going to be really great for you. Or it might be something that is not going to serve, it might even actually be financially returning itself, but be morally corrupt. So be very careful, because the magician reverses, we are talking about that bad rock star who think about rock star is like about drugs, right? And kind of like wild lifestyle until they start developing all of the side effects of it, and then it was fun for 3 years and now I have to suffer for 30 years. So that's kind of like warning that I am giving this to you. All right, so now we are back on track. So let's do Sagittarius next. Sagittarius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we will do the doors after Sagittarius. Sagittarius. You have Queen of Swords, you have King of Wands, and you have the Devil. So there is a couple here, guys, and this couple is doing together very well. It's so, I mean, I'm having a goosebumps here. Look, there is like this fencing that is connecting. He's all fire, she's all air. Fire and air, they're like, they love each other. Pea in a pod, two peas in a pod. He's like all passion, and she is she's presenting herself as white, but she's not all in. Queen of Sword is like one of those born again virgins, right? Where you go through so much hell, you're dragged through the mud, you have so many negative and painful experiences, but you're still standing. You are standing and realizing what you want to do, what you can do, and it doesn't take you very long to assess and reassess people. He, on the other hand, admires that. This is not a chick who lives under the rock. This is somebody who had real life experiences, who is shoulder to shoulder kind of like person. So she's not that really emotional queen who is going to just really kind of like bear children. That's somebody who is going to be a ruler. So this is a power couple, guys. And interestingly enough, that they are getting the Devil right next to them, because this is a really good coupling over here. But the Devil reversed is really talking about something that maybe has been, maybe each of them on their own were kind of like trying to get somewhere. Maybe that talks about two single individuals who maybe have been the law in their own way, but coming together, it's kind of like chemistry happening. Maybe each of them also have their own issues that they have to deal with. And the Devil card, or rather to say reversal of it, it's really talking about that these two people really spend lots of time dealing with things they need to deal with, and now they are able to work for something productive. They are able to recognize when things are not going well, when or why they're not going well, as well as to recognize in their own self when they shouldn't be reacting or overreacting, and what does it take for a relationship to move forward. So very, very important over here, guys. So there is something that is happening. So the flavor of a day is 6. It could bring exes. Usually the Devil can talk about exes, but if it does, in your cases, exes coming back 95% of the time, not a good thing. In your case, so it's going to be air sign, fire sign, something like this over here. This most likely is you, but this could be also a Leo of some sort, right? it's a very kind of like strong thing. This also could mean there's like something still brewing in the background. There is like still some, maybe somebody's trying to bring their own crapola and making you deal with that, and you'll have nothing to do with this. No, it's kind of like, it almost looks like that you're saying no, there's like somebody, or you have a vision of what the partner should be, and it's like you're not necessarily polar opposite, but like, I mean, you're looking for this person to be as strong as you are, but as different as, so kind of like give you this space and peace, and that you don't have to be pulling for the two in a relationship, and actually you're giving this opportunity. So have courage to do that, kind of like leap into that, because the courage is also shedding something or somebody from your life. There's like something that needs to go. There's like something that really needs to be cut off. And maybe you're meeting somebody who, she just, you know, she's going to freaking like, I mean, chop your head off if you do any kind of like crap thing. And King of Wands actually even wouldn't want to do it, because like every king that is upright is honorable. So I was always trying to explain to my partners, and I had a few jealous ones. And if it doesn't work with this explanation, then basically I have to get rid of them. And my explanation to them was, I don't really cheat, not because I want to prove to you that I'm not cheating, but this is like cheating me. I would feel that I'm betraying my own integrity, that I am kind of like doing something that is not going to help my own karma. So that's the reason. Not to offend you, it's not because of you, not that you're not fabulous and everything, but this is kind of like how it's seen. So that's kind of like how it's going to look here. Somebody is looking for that strength in the other person, because it could sound like that you also have a partner who is very, or you had a partners who were influenced by exes coming through. So for example, this also could mean celebrities, as that you're coming, like, I mean, in the first kind of like in the foreground, and when you're in the foreground, like, I mean, people try to knock you down, and sometimes they invent stories, or sometimes they allude stories. So kind of like you need to be very strong to withhold that. So that kind of like gets very important. All right, so now we are doing doors. I'm surprised that I'm calling this before Barbie. So let's see what is Barbie saying. What sign did you just do? I did, I think Sagittarius. Yeah, Sagittarius. I realize you're nervous about Pops. I have tonight thought about him since yesterday. Didn't expect you to be able to do live today. Honestly, I didn't do too. I went for a walk with the the doggo, and I started being freaked out when the neighbor didn't get back to me. That's what freaks me out. So what we did Aries, we did Taurus, we did Gemini, we did Libra, we did Sagittarius, and we did Pisces. And you know, I'm going to send you the summary. So I'm going to now hide this so you guys can think of a question. So let's see the timestamp. I always forget for this. Poor Barbie has to go back and try to figure it out. When did you say that? And so let's do that. So that's why I am rushing through everything, but not really that I'm neglecting. So trust me, I'm still doing these readings. So think of the question, guys, you want to know. Actually, I'm going to think if that is okay. So I'm going to make sure that I don't look into the jumper's eye things. So just think about this. I'm having my eyes closed. I'm going to pull door number 1. I'm going to pull door number 2. And I'm going to pull door number 3. I'm going to choose 3. I didn't see it. So let me reveal this now and see what we have. So door number 1 is before Saggy. We did Taurus. So Taurus was at 2112. Right. So door number 1. Whoa. No. There's like something that is really beating you down. I mean, maybe you don't even know, but there are forces at play over here. Somebody's telling you it has to be done this way, has to be done that way. That was exactly the wrong way. It was exactly why it didn't work out. This is like why exactly somebody was buying their time, and this is the hardest part to accept for you because you followed all the rules and you got all the crap, and it's just like kind of hard to understand. But the answer is no. An answer is even the question is not correct because you don't know everything about it. So keep that in mind. The card number 2 is the Chariot reversed. So something over here looked very promising that you're asking about and hopeful. And maybe you invested lots of energy and lots of effort and lots of sacrifices to get to it. But it doesn't look like this can actually get to this finale. It's too many people are pulling in different directions, and it doesn't seem like that can this is kind of like maybe like no to maybe. It's not exact like clear no, but I would say what is really important to know about that is like this is not in your best interest. So should you continue, you're kind of like getting off your own path, and that's really not good. So that is okay. And this is door number 3. Things are falling in balance, and like that's what he does all the time. He just like doesn't turn on the phone, and then you drive all the way there, like $40 in a gas, and I'm not even supposed to really go willy-nilly from city to city with this pandemic, but oh, you're here, it's okay, let's do shopping. So then I'm like all first stressed out and worn out from him shuffling his feet and doing shopping. So justice is really talking about things are falling in balance. Of course, it's going to come there and he's going to be okay. That's what it means. And it means karmically, this is a good thing to do. So no matter what, I guess I have to go there just from my own sense of well-being and from my own sense of safety. And things are going to work out. This also could mean, on the other hand, something legal or involvement of the authorities, but it can mean like universal balance of some sort. So that's about this. And I don't know, guys, if you have the buffering. Today keeps giving me lots of errors on my end. So let me see, even emailing me that there are errors. I'll try to refresh it one more time. And not sure why is this happening, and something is freaking odd, even showing weird timelines. Can I open widget, and why would I open a widget? I don't know. It's telling me that we are already 1 hour. That cannot be right at all. And now I cannot even do the timestamps. It's completely bizarre. Okay, but I have a backup. You see, that's what people do during Mercury retrograde. So we'll do Capricorn next. Let's see, Capricorn. Capricorn, this one wants to come out. Ace of Cups reversed and 9 of Wands reversed. Is it about some kind of love? Look at this, all the reversals. What are the chances? I only reversed 5 or 6 cards. You're getting them all. So Ace of Cups reversed, 9 of Wands reversed, the Hangman reversed, and 7 of Cups reversed. So Ace of Cups upright is the new beginning. 9 of Wands is hopefulness that something, even though so far it didn't yield results or it did give some mediocre results, are going to be finalized properly, but it's reversed. So maybe you're abandoning something. Maybe you're coming to that full circle and saying something has to be let go. You maybe tried at some point looking at things from a different perspective, but at this stage you're like not willing to make sacrifices anymore about the situation. There's like something where you're stopping dreaming. 7 of Cups is about a dreamer who no longer dreams, which could mean, being that you're Capricorn, being that you're very pragmatic, that you're actually just becoming very pragmatic about the situation, right? This kind of like really feels ultimately like a new start for you. You're abandoning something that maybe has been very important for you, because usually when people do these sacrifices for someone, that means that other person is extremely meaningful for them. But when this reverses and when people stop doing the sacrifices, you're either feeling, and this is really interesting because when we do sacrifices for someone, we are doing that for them, but we're also doing that because it makes us a better person. So you need to think that through. When this stops, you need to make sure that the lesson that has been learned about this person continues. So this is a little bit of a worrisome card over here, that you felt you can do it for them, but otherwise you don't want to do it. So keep that in mind, what's going on and what is this all about. So let me see what card you get there. You get harmony. Maybe something caused turbulence for you, and maybe you're connecting this turbulence with everything that you have been going through. Maybe you're not even aware that this is kind of like you need to dissect these little kind of things. Not everybody's analytical as Aquarians are. And so that's what I would ask you to just go back and think about it, because the Hanged Man reversed is something that pushes upright, is something that pushes you on a backtrack. So what have you been doing that you stopped doing that doesn't necessarily depend on another person? It's something that I would suggest you get back, because it is really good for your spirit, it's really good for your well-being, and it's really in the interest of harmony. This could actually involve another 2 or even another 3 people, and it is kind of like really important to kind of like understand that. So let's see what else we have here. Virgo, let's do Virgo. Virgo. What's up? Virgo. You have Knight of Swords, you have 6 of Wands, and you have the Chariot. Oh my God. This is so typical for Virgo. This is veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. So that's exactly what it looks like. Going toward the goals. This is like a very goal-oriented night. This is like claiming victory. And Chariot is saying, okay, I was staying there for a while, but there's like something else, something new direction I want to go. It's very atypical from Virgo, because you kind of like don't move as fast. You are not fleeing sign. You're not a fixed sign either. But I think this Mercury is rattling you, because Mercury rules your sign. And not many people know that both you and Geminis are ruled with Mercury. And you're like really feeling goal-oriented. You kind of like really feel that you're doing something right, and you're like really reinforcing this. Having said that, it is also something that you are doing that you feel needs redefinement, and you need to do it alone. You need to do it without somebody else. On the other hand, this also could mean that you're accomplishing something, or you're feeling accomplished, and then that you're meeting somebody who might be that perpetual bachelor, and that you're meeting that person at work, and that could be a challenge. So you're like literally in the mood. Adrenaline is very high, so it could be basically mountaineering or hiking. It's going to be something of a sort for you, where it's a really high energy level, what we're really talking about here. And then we have Truth. It's kind of like looking in it, and that would be that spiritual component of the Chariot as well. Chariot is about, what is my truth? Like, because Knight of Swords goes toward a goal, but kings send them to get that things done for them. But Chariot is self-propelled. Look, he has these wings. He kind of like set these goals for himself, and Chariot is the boss of all the knights as well. So now it's the boss coming through as well. So it also could be just claiming certain things, and certain things are going forward. The only thing that worries me, especially if you are thinking about relationship with this guy, mostly guy, but I guess the character is single and wants to stay single, doesn't want any kind of like things to drain him or her. So let's go Scorpio next. Scorpio. Virgo rising. I like this strong hand over here. Very lovely. Scorpio. Anita. Yeah, I always look Virgo as well because luckily I have Virgo. Otherwise, it's all air in my chart. I would be just floating all over. So you have, what did I say? A Scorpio, 2 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, and Death. Well, that is your own card. It is talking about, it is very weird. She's looking up and she's looking like a bigger, kind of like it's also reminding me of your monthlies. Kind of like there are big aspirations, but there's also need to hide something. Like you want to other people to come to you, but you are not willing at the same time to offer the same. There's like this hidden wealth that you come and check. There's like hidden space. So if you want other people to do things for you and you are not willing to do it for them, you are not living authentically. You need to ask yourself, and this is why that card is showing up. It is really telling you, and then we have like this bird also here coming through. There's like something that needs to be put to rest. There's like some attitude or a person. That card always talks about the ending of some sort, but it's an ending that is going to be the best for you. Sometimes we don't want that to happen. Sometimes we just really don't want to go in this direction, right? But since that card is coming through for Scorpios, it also means that you are almost like thriving on it. Like whenever I say to Scorpio something negative will happen, Scorpios goes, oh, just bring it on. I will kind of like work on it, and I am kind of like to challenge. But this is a challenge that is really coming down to your own attitudes. It could be even being hypocritical. Maybe somebody will call you hypocritical. Maybe you're saying, oh, we are going to do that, etc., but somebody maybe is not coming back. It's not forthcoming because I don't know, maybe they're feeling you're hiding something, and that quality is keeping them away. And you got responsibility. Interestingly enough, she's holding this globe over here, and in a traditional Rider-Waite deck, 2 of Wands is also a character that holds the globe, and it represents the world you want to build in, right? So this is really saying, like, I mean, you cannot just give a lip service to a certain situation. If something is to work out, it will work out only if you know you kind of like jump into that full heartedly. There is like a part of you that is still hesitant. There's a part of you that is still has boundaries and walls built around you, so it needs to go in order for you to be happy. And so whether this means you are already in a relationship, then there is a part of you you're not sharing, or if you're not in a relationship, that means that there's like something that is preventing you of going kind of like whole way, and people pick up on it. People, like, you know how dogs sniff every grass and everything, or cats, we know that as well. We just can't put a finger on it, but like something makes us stay away or kind of like wonder about that. So let's go Cancer next. What is this? Like, where did the people go? Nobody likes me today? Oh, Cancer next. Let's see. Cancer. Cancer. I dead carded. It's funny. Cancer. And everyone is going to get deeper. Good for you, MK. Hi, Loma. Good morning. Guys, please click on like if you are here so I can see. Whoa, Cancer, you have the wheel. This is the karmic card where you're coming on top. And Queen of Cards. Oh, look at this King of Swords. Who is this couple? You have like Queen of Hearts, Queen of Cups, and King of Swords. So this could be you. This could be like, I mean, that you have been dealing with someone, or maybe that, but both of them are reversed. So both of them are not giving their 100%. Both of them are not fully engaged, if you wish. They don't also make good coupling. So she's like, I mean, girly girl, and he's really not manly man. He's like in his own freaking universe. King of Swords is like, that detached person. People like to idolize this kind of person in the media, and maybe that really works well. That could be the general who now just always like sits on the mountain and knows the justice. But these people don't give you that soft shoulder to fall onto. This is not the person you want to crack a beer with, kind of a thing, right? So when they're reversed, they're actually even worse. She's like always crying and whining and demanding, and he's overly rigid. Now, this is really difficult to interpret when it comes to the wheel. So the wheel is saying that maybe this is you. Maybe sometimes you are like getting that personality, or maybe sometimes absorbing that personality, right? So it's really telling you need to shed it, because that is like what is circulating. Maybe you go to the extremes that can talk about a little bit of quote unquote bipolar personality, but this can also talk about it. Maybe you have a couple around you, or you have been a part of the couple that you're now seeing that somehow that doesn't make any sense, and because it doesn't make any sense, you maybe want to get out. Maybe you want to figure out something that is going to be more productive. Maybe you're feeling I just cannot be who I am because with you that energy is not there. So just think about it. You want to build a house, and all the material you have been given are, let's say, cards. So you cannot build something firm out of it because it's not enough, it's not existing, it's not strong enough. And it's kind of like that realization about it. So the wheel is really good thing. It's a karmic shift that is really telling you about moving forward. But you got here patience as well. And maybe this also talks about that you're trying to figure out how to find a way to make things right again, because they have been right at some point. So patience says that instead of acting on a knee-jerk reaction, that instead you kind of try to kind of like go a little bit deeper, and don't be overreactive. Who was this that I saw it? Was it this with Scorpio that I said just don't react right away, just please take your time of some sort? So that's kind of like what is showing up here for you, and it's really important to know it. You guys actually do have patience. So when you feel that you are just spiraling down into sadness, or spiraling down into lashing out, or that somebody's lashing at you, or it's overly emotional at you, just be patient with that and see where it ends. Maybe somebody just needs to get something out of their system, so that's why the wheel is spinning and kind of like needs to get to some different destination. And we have Aquarius and Leo. So let's go with Leo. I might do it under the hour after all. Leo. You know, I kind of married on June the 6th, which will be this day, at 6 o'clock in Europe, which will be noon, which will be in 10 minutes. Many years ago. And we still celebrate it. We still celebrate it saying, well, you know, we got saved. Kind of like we didn't go down that term. So Leo, you have Ace of Pentacles reversed. You have 10 of Swords. You have the Moon. And you have 7 of Swords. Holy moly, that's not going to be a good week. I'm so sorry, but this is the first thing that is happening out of my mouth. Maybe something didn't move forward as you were hopeful that something is going to be long term, because you feel you got backstabbed, you feel like it was just too hard to struggle of some sort. But the decision that you either made, that you have to make, it's kind of weird. You're going from 1 to 10. So it was like a big hope into something. But it also at the same time it's going from 1 to 10. Something was happening too suddenly. And that's why there's like the stepping back. So it's kind of like almost like signifies beginning of a relationship where you're very hopeful. But then you start realizing this person is not that great. Because the moon is always kind of like putting doubt into anything that we are doing, right? So the doubt technically should come before, right? Because this is like 18, 1 and 8 is 9. So 18 is also consisting about this 1, the beginning, and the 8, which is your card, strength card, right? Beginning of being strong, of being committed. But then when they combine, they kind of like create this doubt. In which direction do I go? What is real? What is not real, right? Maybe you've been through a situation that is making you doubt yourself of some sort. But at the same time, as anything negative is also positive, right? So if this door is not opening, well, at least you know it's closed. You have to go and try to open another one. Ten of Swords, well, you will have to pull all of these swords, and it's going to be very painful. But at the same time, what you need to know that you are not dead. In this deck, she's not dead. She's just injured, and she is surprised. She is feeling betrayed. And this is kind of coming to 11. And it kind of like something karmically happened. Maybe you resolve something that has been kind of like in your way, because each sign this month looks like has to jump over a hump of some sort, and they have to resolve something which is like coming inside and outside. And for you, it is about some kind of betrayal. You feel betrayed, or somebody's telling you that you betray them. Because Seven of Swords is like that card where, like, you know, he's grabbing certain things and he's a little bit afraid for him. So he's dropping these two swords. He's just taking whatever he can take, which really tells me that it's really maybe not that important. And sevens are very spiritual, but this is really telling me there's a blockage in spirituality, or somebody had some issues on that path, and maybe it's something that you didn't see, because look, there's a pathway and he's looking in the darkness, and he kind of like needs to kind of like go. There's a one part of Seven of Swords which is always forgotten, that he might be just retrieving what is his and finding himself, because sometimes Seven of Swords is about aha moment. It's about knowing that you know, things are meant there. Things are done for a reason. So there is like some sense of darkness here, right? That you went from the light to dark. And that you really need to dwell in this world of unknown, of wonder, of what if, or why did it happen, or why is this happening to me, etc. But look, you're getting the light. It almost looks to me it's a birthday celebration over here, guys. So your birthday is coming up really soon, and it tells me that this is like just a part of a big story, that the part that is really important, but the part that you're going to look at it completely differently. There are other people that are involved here. Could be like, I mean, up to 3 or 4 other people that are involved in the situation. And it is very much about your conscious and your subconscious, because almost like how things are seen look one way, but what things really are different. So there is like that mix that you really need to deal with. So it's going to be kind of tough week, but you need to keep this in mind, that there's like something that's going to resolve around your birthday. And until then, you need to buckle up. You need to do this, and just one day at a time, one step at a time, and that is really, really important. So let's see what we see here, Claudia. Ooh, Aqua Sun, Aqua Moon, and Virgo Ascendant. Nice combination. So taking what's mine back is interesting. Yeah, whether this is like, I mean, something tangible or something intangible, it's important. In Aquarius, you always get penalized because of me. I don't want people to say that I'm prioritizing, like, I mean, you over somebody else. So Aqua, we are the last. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Happy anniversary. like my ex-husband, he always, when he calls me, says, well, aren't you happy now we're not married? See, like, I mean, how much happier we are. And he might be right. So we have King of Swords. Something didn't really work out. Knight of Wands. Ooh, Seven of Swords. So that's that Leo Aquarius axis over here. So I don't know, maybe this Mercury retrograde is getting to us, and maybe we are really thinking about all of these great we had. The Knight of Swords is like this guy with great potential, with whom we love to chat. We could spend hours chatting, but then he turns around and backstabs us, right? Nine of Wands is this great lover who tells us how great we are, how much he loves us, how he paints the big picture of he wants to do with us, and then he disappears, or he all of a sudden becomes very cold and calculative. It's again, just as I said, for Leo, we are taking something back. We are deciding Well, this is what it was. It was not all negative. There were positive parts, but we cannot dwell on it anymore. There are like, issues over here, and clearly there are two different people. So which means either, unless you have two people at the same time who are equally disappointing you, that this could be some issue from the past, because this month will be quite a bit of dealing with past issues and addressing them. So you need to drop some, you need to still grab some and deal with them, and you need to attack some of them head on. And so whenever past gets to you, that you get triggered, that you're overly emotional, that you get overly angry, let's see what we need to do and what kind of action we need to take. Transformation. Wow, look at this, going into this light. Wow, it's going to be very much like Leo, guys, that we will kind of like have the week which is going to bring a whole bunch of intuition, a whole bunch of stuff, but it's going to be a sense of, I'm seeing more right now. It's like this wool is being pulled off our heads, over our heads. Now it's kind of like removed, and we get to see the reality, and we are very intrigued, and we're actually going to be proud about ourselves, proud about what we accomplished and how we dealt with that. So that's very important, my dear Aquas. And already we are going to have the last thing. It's kind of dealing with Picador. Okay, door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. And door number 3. All right. So let's do this. Door number 1. 8 of Pentacles reversed. There are some details that are not lining up, that certain things might actually go, but they're going to be so wobbly and they're not going to be sustainable. So that's kind of like one of these tricky situations where I have to tell you the answer is yes, but I'm going to tell you very soon after this yes is going to turn into it cannot continue. So it's going to from yes to no. Very, it's much better from no to yes, right? But that's why I'm uncomfortable. Door number 2, Temperance. Yes, anything freaking happens when this card shows up. You can make it work, even if it was dismal, just didn't have any freaking opportunity to do that. And Wheel of Fortune, it's also resounding yes. And it's going to work beyond your expectations. So I really hope you ask me if you're going to win lottery for this particular door number 3. So this is it, guys. This is my Saturday edition. I am going to go and comb my hair and run in a car. And now that it's fixed, so I don't mind driving. And I will see you next weekend if nothing changes. And hopefully, oh, you didn't see the cards. I didn't unlock it. So let me just show you this. Door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. So sorry about that, guys. So be well. You know that I love you. You know that I care about you.